And we're live. And we are live, guys, here on this Thursday, 12th of October. And we're going to look into ETFs, overall ETFs. It has been a while since we have been looking into those. Sorry for that, obviously. Um, as always, follow me, give me a comment, all that good stuff. Let's get straight into business. We have quite a few ETFs to go through. If you have any wishes with regarding to ETFs, please comment in the comment section below, and I will might add it into the mix of all of this good stuff. Okay, let's get into business here. GDX, the gold miners, still in our blue range right here. A bull flag after we broke down from the green rising wedge there. This one should resolve to the upside at some point in time. But again, until otherwise, we are in a blue downtrend here. The 30 weekly is still up here. And yeah, there is no party for the GDX until we start to get above 33. And then obviously this one is the big one to go by at some point in time. But for now, we are still just grinding down here again. I think this will happen when gold will go above the all-time high, just north of 2000. GDXJ, same thing, but a bit differently, in a blue squeeze here instead of a channel. And we had a bit of a false breakdown here, so hopefully we start to shoot up here, and then we have that first pullback into the upper end of it. The 30 weekly is still up here, so we are still in a downtrend, no doubt about it here. And yeah, this is the one to look for. Until we break that one, in my view, if you don't have a position, that's totally fine, and you shouldn't take one until we clear this one. That's a 3-year long downtrend that needs to get taken out before we can turn bullish. SIL, I just want to show you it's finding some sort of support here, barely. We are down, and now we're just in between the trend line here, more or less. Again, if we start to gain momentum to the downside, this could get pretty nasty. And yeah, also 30 weekly still grinding down here, so there's no party at the moment. And yeah, we should when and if we take that one, that's the golden. Then we're in for a lot more upside. But until now, just stay out. Unless you want to buy, on points like these in an uptrend, in that golden trend line there. But when we can take that one and the horizontal here, you can see the interaction there at roughly 32. Then we have a lot of air above us, and then that should be where we start to grind higher. But for now, it's not fun to be invested into gold and silver miners. They have not done anything for the past 3 years, which is well, nice if you're a contrarian, I guess, but still for now, not the best. SILJ, same thing. I added this one here, that golden internal. We're getting a bounce here at that double support. Hopefully we start to grind higher, and we need to resolve to the upside here. But there's a lot of resistance still, 30 weekly and so on. So yeah, it's still not a great view for the silver miners. Again, we need to get above that $25, $26 level for the silver miners before this one gets any traction to the upside. We can hope for a double bottom here. That would be beautiful, but still a lot of resistance to get through before we can start to get a tiny bit happy. URA on the weekly, I covered that one yesterday. I still think there's a decent chance of that we go down to 23 on the URA for a full, more or less, retest of that green trend line there. So 23 is a level that we could go for. I will say this though, going into the 1 hourly, this is still all right with a bullish falling wedge right here. So if we can snap above, here, that one, then I think that that call for 23 on the URA might be out of the window if we can pop it here. As you can see, we're still in an uptrend here, and as long as that holds, it's all fine. in the hood actually. So hopefully we start to get into it here, then we start to pop it right here. 30 weekly is still going upward with a very this is the daily, excuse me, steep angle. So this should pull the price up. And we are into some major support zones right here, between the 24 and close to 24. So URNM, same thing. I think we can go down here to that high over here. We are having some sort of pennant there into that resistance. So we could see roughly 40 on the URNM before any more upside. But still long term, we have made a major higher high here, taking out 4 previous highs. So it's totally natural to look for a higher low here at some point in the uranium space. URNJ, switching to the daily because we don't have that much data. Again, many people are calling for that head and shoulders. Again, I will argue that it is not at head and shoulders because the right pit here is lower than the left pit, and many people that are very good at technical analysis, people that are way better than me, claims that the lowest you can go is to have a horizontal neckline. You cannot have one that's going down. You can have one that is climbing up a bit. That's totally fine, but a downsloping neckline is not possible for a head and shoulders. So yeah, lithium still long term looks like a major flagpole, and we are having our 3 impulse lower lows. Going to the daily, you can see here that we could be taking out a steep downward. Actually, I should add this one in as well. There it is. You can see it. I want to make it red just like the other one. You can see here, this is a falling bullish wedge right there, and we are trying to break out here. Still very early, but this could be our 3rd impulse low, which, if it is, should take us into higher ground here for the lithium miners. So yeah, let's see if that is the case for lithium. I'm very bullish lithium long term, especially given the setup, major flagpole into the flag. So it should resolve to the upside. That is the most likely play here. EVS, the Brazilian ETF, I am very bullish long term on this ETF. Also, I like it because it pays 10% dividend. That's very nice. What am I waiting for? Maybe you still remember. It is that to take out that blue internal formation here and that green one right there. That is my go. So roughly 34 will be my entry, at least in this one here. So if we can start to climb above, I will have an entry at that green line right there. It should actually be red right because it's resistance, but let's do it like this. So still for now, I will not do anything until I get my signal for the EVS right there. Nvidia daily. I know it's not an ETF, but now we have had it in the mix here for so long. So now here it is. This was the call here that we're going to roll over there. As you can see here, we have this grinding trend line to the upside. If that breaks, I would argue that we are in for that head and shoulders that I thought were going to be made here. Again, this is very rarely a bullish take. Maybe it is, but I'm in the camp that we are making our right shoulder here until proven otherwise. Again, going to the 1 hourly, I want to show you. This is that orange grinding line here. You could argue to copy it over there. So yeah, I'm in the camp that this is a rollover for the AI sector or the Nvidia. OIH going to the weekly, long term, still in a green bullish uptrend right here. We have taken that golden trend line out, so the bulls are definitely in control, and we're still above all the major previous highs here. So yeah, as long as we are above the 30 weekly and the green uptrend here, OIH looks fantastic. This is XOP, excuse me. This was our squeeze there, and we're back above again. 30 weekly is starting to climb up here, a higher high. Barely, no, actually not a higher high, but still we have made a high here. I will argue that we are making that low there. And yeah, for now it's just long-term XOP. Looks very, very nice. And the big one to look for is the neckline here. A bit of a downsloping neckline, as you can see, but still, when we take that one out at roughly 170, that's your big entry if you don't have an investment already into this sector. Major inverted head and shoulders, targets way higher. That should indicate oil is going way higher as well. POTX, want to show you, this was a big, spike here out of that insanely big long-term falling wedge. But now actually look at it here. We are way down here once again. And I want to argue now that we have the ceiling for a possible bottoming in the making, but this will take a very long time into 2024 until we can see what is going to form here. But for now, this is what I'm looking at for a long entry, depending on what happens, obviously. But let's see. But the initial pop here is a big loss of momentum to the downside. But yeah, we're making new lows, but this should put a positive RSI on the you can see here. On the daily, RSI should be making positive divergent there. Again, this will take a bit long time to play out if we are going to play out. We don't know, obviously. SOXX semiconductors, a lot of mixed stuff going on here. The green uptrend is broken, and we're just retesting it from below. So from that point of view, it's very bearish. Again, we are in that flag right there. So if we get back above, insanely bullish, and we will go to the all-time high here back from December 2021. Obviously, if we start to roll over, we're still in the bull flag, but then we will start to get below the 30 weekly, which is never a good thing. But again, long term here, you can still see that I'm in the camp that we are going to visit close to the all-time highs for this one. If not, this is just a major wave 1, 2, and then we're rolling over big time. So a lot of conflicting forces here. But definitely I'm in the camp also that this is a major break, so you should look out for that break here. In the semiconductors, I want to show you 10. Obviously, we had that major breakdown here, and ever since it went from 61 down to 45. That's a big drop. I also posted this one on Twitter, and you can see here we came into a big support and resistance zone, and we are having a bounce here as well. If this is the low here, then we have our 3 impulse lower lows. And yeah, let's see how it forms here. We are also insanely stretched from that 30 weekly moving average. So how further can we go on this move? I think we're at least coming in for some sort of retrace, and then we will see. But we are due for a bounce here. For now, in the short term. And yeah, the big one to look for is obviously that golden upper trend line right there. When we break that, if we break that, that is the big go signal, and also confirming that I think we are in for a very big macro, possibly inverted head and shoulders, and that should take us to the neckline and beyond. But that's not tomorrow, not next week, or not next month even. So let's look at that when we get there. XLE, we still have the ceiling here at roughly $93, and we have some upsloping supportive trend channels or trend lines there. Again, if we get above here, very bullish. If we start to crack down here, getting below these trend lines that we have here and that zone, very bearish. So for now, if you don't have a position, fine. You just enter when we go into all-time highs. Again, stop losses should also always be in place because you often see fake outs there. But still, it's still a trade that you should make. Again, if you want to go short, you wait for the breakdown of these 2 upsloping trend channels trend zones right there. XLF, the banking sector, still doesn't look fantastic. Ever since we took out the bear flag here, we couldn't clear the long-term golden trend line there, so it's still bearish. And if we start to roll over now, 30 weekly should be coming down as well. So nothing new under the sun there for the banking sector. Still, it's struggling big time. Again, if we take out the highs from 2007, the global financial crisis high, we have it right here at roughly 30. Then you're in for a roller coaster to the downside. We have had such a big level, as you can see here, coming across. So if we are getting below, then you should look out below, really. And the banking sector is in for a world of pain. XLRE, the real estate sector. I just found or noted that one here, that lower trend line off on the banking sector. Clearly, this bear flag here, we couldn't quite get above the 30 weekly and the upper golden trend line, so we spilled down here. So this move here is very bearish still, very, very bearish. And I would argue that we're going at least all the way down to here. And yeah, it's still in a major downtrend. 30 weekly, just trending down, down, down for now. And let's see. We are into some double support possibilities right there. And we have made a new low, which could also be positive, but we have to really start to regain this one and go higher. Many people are talking about a crash in the real estate, and some are not. So let's see who is correct. XME, the metals and mining. Right now, what I am focusing on is that we need to take out that golden trend line. Currently, we are in a blue, green horizontal channel right there. If the blue gives in, I think we could be going down here all the way down to roughly a tad above 40. Let's hope not. But anyways, you can also argue that this is a Head and Shoulders slightly inclining neckline right there. So let's see what happens. Clearly, we are coming into some very interesting squeezy point right there, this triangle here. So hopefully we pop here and then we're good to go, getting above the blue and the golden. If not, we are in for some 10, 30, 15% losses here at least. POTX, this one was taken out. That's the main lower golden trend line, and now we're just in a range here, just ranging back and forth, back and forth. Bearish, bullish. That's how it is. You can argue that we have some sort of, nah, it's not. Never mind. We have the horizontal here. So 42 and roughly 34 is really our range that we are bouncing back and forth from right now. And at some point in time, it will choose either direction, to the downside or to the upside. So that is COPEX. The copper minus SPX here at the end. I want to go to the daily very quickly. Again, this is then a Head and Shoulders, slightly upsloping neckline, perfectly fine, and we are now back above. So that's actually quite bullish. It really is to coming all the way down, do the retesting and get back in above a neckline is always bullish. And now we're just doing a retest here today, and it's holding. So very excited to see if we can get above the 30 daily here, and then we could be in for some upside here for the SPX really. Who would have thought, right? But as long as we're above the blue neckline, that is always more bullish than bearish. Caution should obviously be if we start to go below again, because we have made, lower lows and lower highs. So if this could be a lower high as well, if we start to curl back down again. But for now, it's good. The NDX, the Nasdaq, quite different actually, because we have this pennant right here, so it's not a Head and Shoulders formation because the neckline is slowing down in my point of view. And yeah, so this is actually a bullish take, and this one have the highest probabilities of resolving to the upside here for the Nasdaq. And then if that happens, then we're going to attack the all-time highs at roughly 16.6K. That's all I had for today. Excuse me, guys. I'm having a bit of a running nose. My voice is getting a bit sore. I hope that's all right and didn't cause too much distraction for you. A long video again, but I hope you stayed until the end. If you did, thank you very, very much. Have a great day, guys, and we will see you in the next one. Cheers.